You're watching the All-State Saturday Kickoff.
Welcome back to the SEC on ESPN from cloudy, gloomy Columbia, South Carolina. 14-8. UCF leads heading toward the second half. Alongside John Kajay, I'm Clay Matvick back in the broadcast booth. And that first half only added to the anxiety of the South Carolina fans. They've been looking for something to spark this team the last few weeks. They thought Lorenzo Nunez would be the guy. As it turns out, Pharaoh Cooper, their All-American candidate, adding to the anxiety.
Yeah, Cooper only 2 catches for 16 yards. You fumble a punt, return, special teams opportunity well inside your 10-yard line, and then you have an opportunity to catch the football in the end zone to make big play. You don't do it, and you have to settle for a field goal. And it just seems like all the momentum from the second quarter on has been on the side of the visitors in UCF.
And the Knights will start with the football here in the second half. And we'll start at the 25-yard line. First half stats brought to us by United Airlines.
It was quite obvious rushing the ball. South Carolina has the advantage, but it seemed like the young quarterback for South Florida got on track, and Bo Schneider, 111 yards through the air. First downs about even. Time of possession on South Carolina's side, but they haven't been able to do anything with the football. And lately, this defense has been giving up chunk yardage on first down. They've been able to establish themselves early in the game, but that last series they allowed almost 11 yards on first down, close to their over their average for the season, around 9.
The Rainers picked up again. And we won't even get a playoff before we get penalty flags.
False start, number 39 to the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty, first down.
Joseph Popolo, the starting H-back, just back from a knee injury. The false start. Bo Schneider, 8 of 13, 111 yards passing and a touchdown in his second career start for the UCF Knights. The true freshman quarterback, Schneider, has been the most impressive today. C.J. Jones in the backfield with Schneider on 1st and 15. 6 rushing yards for the Knights at first half. But Schneider looked pretty good in the first half hour of this game.
Well, his percentage has gone up. He came into the game with 47%. He was 8 of 13 in that first half, and he caught hot. And he threw a great ball, a corner route on the outside to Smith. Just hung it up in the air and allowed his wide receiver to run underneath it. But he's going to have to show extreme poise in the second half to win on the road. It's a pretty good football team that's trying to make a play defensively.
They run it up the middle on 2nd and 11. And C.J. Jones ran it well last week, but had a crucial fumble in the 4th quarter that led to that upset loss at the hands of FCS Furman. Sets up a 3rd and about 4.
This is the way you set the tone on both sides. Defensively, you have to get a stop. You want to be able to go 3 and out, but offensively, can a freshman quarterback have enough time to make a play down the field? You need 5 yards. Can he make a good decision coming out after halftime?
Terralosi goes in motion, 3rd and 4. Over the middle. Incomplete. Well covered by T.J. Holloman. Tristan Payne, the intended receiver. It appears that that move to the linebacker for Holloman was a wise one on the part of the coaching staff.
Offensive coordinator Brent Key went back to the well one more time, trying to attack the middle football field. T.J. Holloman's going to have a whole lot of playing experience this year in this defense. And now the playmaker Cooper, a chance to redeem himself.
He's standing at the 25-yard line. 4th punt off the foot of Houston, who has been very good today. Fair catch called for by Cooper, and he hangs on tight at the 32-yard line. We'll see if that South Carolina offense can get something ignited when we come back. Steve Spurrier doesn't like starting true freshman quarterbacks. In fact, 1997, the last time he did it, he was the head coach at Florida. Lorenzo Nunez will start the second half as well. We did see Perry Orth for 1 series. It was not good. 0 for 3 passing on a 3 and out. Nunez 95 yards passing first half, 71 rushing. Gamecocks from the 31 on 1st and 10. Nunez wants to throw, and it's complete. Caught at 47 for first down by Pharaoh Cooper.
Well, that's a tone setter to start the 3rd quarter. You go downfield back to your playmaker. Good protection in the pocket. A well-delivered pass by Lorenzo Nunez, the freshman quarterback. And Pharaoh Cooper needs to get involved. 8 targets, but he didn't have a whole lot of production on 3 catches.
18-yard reception. Longest pass play for South Carolina today. From the 49. And give it to Carson. Looking for room on the left side, and he'll get a couple. Pharaoh Cooper grew up in a Marine Corps family, John. You know how the military folks are. Grandfather, dad, brother, all in the Marines. He's got a tough character. You know that.
Absolutely.
So even after having a bad first half, this guy is tough.
He can't wait to get his hands on the football in the second half.
He's already made 1 big play. 2nd down and 7. The 48 of UCF. Nunez. Oh, he's blindsided, hit hard at 41, sacked for a loss of 6. Jeremy Boykins came in on the blitz and nailed him.
Young quarterbacks trying to push the football down the field. Sometimes they don't see the blitz coming from the backside, and Dave Williams, actually the running back, he's in blitz engage. He runs right by Jeremy Boykins. He has to be able to get out of his route and pick up that defender. He ran right by the man making the big play for UCF.
So now that sets up a 3rd down and very long for South Carolina. 4 of 10 on 3rd down the first half, just ahead of the play clock. Nunez steps up, now looking to run, still wants to throw. That might have been tipped. Blends incomplete, intended for Carson. 4th down.
Hey, when you get off track, when you have a quarterback that's primarily a running quarterback, and you get behind the chains, it's very difficult to pick up yards on 3rd and long for any quarterback, but especially a young guy that's not used to being in that position.
It's all part of the growing up process,
it is.
As you all too well know as a former quarterback yourself. The 4th punt of the day. Sean Kelly. Chris Johnson standing back at the 10-yard line for the Knights. He calls for the fair catch. And UCF will start at the 14 when we come back, leading 14-8 on the road.
ESPNU College Football. All-State Saturday Kickoff. Brought to you by Relaxed Fit from Skechers. Room your memory foam footwear with comfort included.
This isn't tailgating. This is railgating. Cabooses that have been fixed up on the inside to accommodate most rowdy tailgaters in the SEC.
That's
At least that's what they say.
I want to be on, right?
The Cackaboose. Got 22 of those cars out there. If that's hobo life, I'm in. UCF like to pull an upset here in Columbia today. They run it on 1st down. It's C.J. Jones picking up short yards there for the Knights. The longer they stay in this game, John, the more confidence they get.
Well, you have to feel that way if you're UCF. You have to be able to control the football offensively. More importantly, you have to be able to control the line of scrimmage so you can eat away some of that clock in the second half, put some drives together. And you see where they've ranked FBS-wise. They haven't done it through 3 games. But it's all up to the guys that hand in the. They have to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Peyton goes in motion. Schneider play fake. Stands tall in the pocket, throws out there to Peyton, and he makes the catch. 1st down. Almost slipped a tackle. Brought down to 28 by Al Harris Jr. as that secondary for South Carolina, John, continues to play flat foot.
They give too much cushion. Nobody's up in your face. You'd like to see the corners for South Carolina play more aggressively. A little press coverage, close the gap, because right now, over 3 weeks, they've made it very easy for opposing quarterbacks.
Gainer 12. They run it again on 1st down. South Carolina ready for that one. C.J. Jones tackled by Gerald Dixon Jr., who's finally getting back into form after missing most of the preseason with a leg injury.
Well, the one thing that South Carolina defensively has done, they've been on 1st down, being able to limit the yards that UCF has been able to attain it, and they haven't been good. They've almost allowed 9 yards on 1st down as an average through 3 games today. Only 3 plays of more than 2 yards.
Schneider pumps, now lobs it down the sideline, and incomplete. Nearly intercepted by Al Harris, who's had a tough time here today. He thought he should have had that one.
And I don't agree with that play call by Brett Key. there hasn't been one time that Al Harris Jr. or any other corner has been able to close the cushion. The last thing you want to do is bait him with a pump and go, continue to wear them out in front of the coverage. That's something that was a gift. And that time Al Harris Jr. couldn't come down with the interception.
Boy, and South Carolina so needed a turnover, another big play. As it happens, 3rd down and 11. The Knights have only converted once today. Schneider being chased. Looking downfield, throws incomplete. And now UCF will have to punt. And South Carolina should have decent field position here with 9:17 to go in the 3rd.
Good pressure in the pocket that allowed Bo Schneider to try to make a play with his leg, but also coverage on the back end. And Phil Cooper gets another opportunity in special teams.
The punter's getting a workout so far here in the 2nd half. Teams trading punts. A good kick for Houston. And a fair catch by Cooper. South Carolina down 6 with 9:07 to go in the 3rd. While you're watching football today, one on your big screen home, another on your computer, tablet, or smartphone, use Watch ESPN. Just download the app or go to watchespn.com. You can still be productive at home on a Saturday and still get your football fix.
And like us, traveling in airports, we'll be watching a lot of these late games, USC, Arizona State, on Watch ESPN.
Well, this offense of South Carolina needs to get on track, and Lorenzo Nunez with his feet gets a 1st down. He keeps running, but he stepped out. Drico Johnson, takes him out, but a run of 24 for the Gamecocks.
Reminiscent of the 29-yarder in the 1st half. He's ripping it off to the short side, and now South Carolina trying to get some momentum on offense with some tempo.
Sean Carson straight ahead. Good run. He's punished. Get about 6 or 7. Yeah, the big plays for South Carolina, John, have come on the run for Lorenzo Nunez. 29 and that one 24. And now a player down. It's Gerard Boykins for UCF.
He's a guy that's been in on a lot of plays for that defense for UCF.
The twin brothers, Boykins, transferred from the Georgia Military Academy. Check out when we come back.
Studio update, and the only drama in Athens is, will Nick Chubb get to 100 yards? He starts the 2nd half with this touchdown. He's at 75 yards right now, Clay.
11 straight 100-yard games. Nick Chubb. 8:34 to go in the 3rd. Upset alert here in Columbia, South Carolina. UCF leading 14-8. Gerard Boykins was able to get off the field under his own power. South Carolina needs to score a touchdown on this drive, you feel. And if they don't, they're going to really be up against it. And how about that run for Sean Carson? Just what the doctor ordered. Breaks into the secondary. Johnson, the team's leading tackler for UCF, brings him down, but a big play for the Gamecocks.
Well, credit the offensive line. At least that time, Sean Carson was able to build up some momentum and hit a hole. There hasn't been much running room in between the tackles. Carson found some that time.
14-yard pick to the 29 of UCF. Nunez from the gun. Looks to the flat. Cooper wanted to throw it downfield. Now cuts it back, and he'll run it. Gets a block from Nunez. Touchdown, Pharoh Cooper. What an improvisation. A 29-yard touchdown run, Cooper. And there's a gadget play that burns UCF again.
There's that spark that head coach Steve Spurrier was looking for, and all is forgiven for Pharoh Cooper.
Elliott Fry with the extra point, and South Carolina regains the lead.
This is a great individual effort by Pharoh Cooper, because this is going to be a double pass. It's a backward pass that you want to go downfield. Everything's covered. So now it's just improvisation and great individual effort. Terrific block by the freshman quarterback, Lorenzo Nunez, on the perimeter. And then the last 5 or 10 yards, it's all Pharoh Cooper. But he made multiple guys in white jerseys miss in the open field. And this individual effort inside the 5. Little jump cut about the 3-yard line gets him in the end zone. He's pointing directing traffic. He makes up for a couple of mistakes earlier in this football game with a sensational run.
4 plays, 74 yards. The Gamecocks get in the end zone, go back in front 15-14. Huge play for the Gamecocks. Huge play for that young man.
Well, it just gives you some confidence on offense. It gives individually Farrell Cooper a chance to go around and get everybody going. But that's the type of player you're looking for to make those types of plays. That's why he's get fed the targets. He's going to get the ball any way he can. Special teams handing it to him, letting him throw it in that case. But he decided, everybody covered, I'll make plays with my athleticism.
Wisely take a knee. C.J. Jones and UCF will start at the 25. See how the Knights answer. The defense for UCF doing a pretty good job today until that point. And Buck Bresnahan, the new defense coordinator, longtime NFL defensive coordinator, told us, if it weren't for those gadget plays that have accounted for about half the touchdowns against us, we'd be doing much better.
Well, that's the 9th touchdown given up, and the 6 of them now have either scored or been set up by gadget plays.
There's the hand there in the middle of the screen. First at UCF after the coordinator at rival South Florida the last 2 years. Nick Patty, who scored the touchdown out of the Wild Knight. The first half is brought down by Sky Moore. No gain. Boy, he's got a bright future in this game.
It's tough to run away from 10 and 11 on defense. Sky Moore and T.J. Holloman have played really good football for 2.5 quarters. And Sky Moore moving to the wheel position. He's always going to be the free linebacker because he'll have a guy with his hand in the dirt in front of him. So he's able to get around the traffic and make plays.
Spent the first 2 years as the weak side linebacker, so this is not uncommon for him. South Carolina's defense on first down today. It's been a little better. Nick Patty out of the gun. Spins, takes a pop, and is knocked out of bounds by Taylor Stallworth. That's a gain of 6. So 3rd down and about 3 for UCF. This would be huge, this defense of South Carolina, to get off the field on 3rd down after that touchdown.
It would be. I mean, the crowd's going to get back into it. It's going to be loud. If you're UCF, have to make a play from the pocket. Bo Schneider's going to have that opportunity. He's going to want to look to Traquan Smith. He's been the playmaker.
Schneider on 3rd and 3 over the middle is a picked off. Did Holla make that catch? Yes, he did. Intercepted, and South Carolina will take over. First turnover today for the Knights.
And that's the break that this defense was looking for. Create turnover, flip the field, and make it easier on your offense. Simple play that UCF has run this entire day, but a pass that goes off of the arms of Jordan Franks, and it looked like T.J. Holloman was the guy on the spot, catch the football cleanly, and now it's South Carolina's offense set up at the UCF 40-yard line.
The junior from Stone Mountain, Georgia, with a great athletic play to keep that ball off the ground and turn the Knights over. 1st and 10 from the 40 of UCF. Caught. 1st down. Now the Gamecocks are buzzed. Carlton Hurd with a gain of 23.
Fans upset because it looked like Hurd never touched the ground, but all the momentum now in this football game is turned to South Carolina.
Carlton Hurd claimed to fame. That block punt at Florida last year to help the Gamecocks win. Now he's being asked to play a bigger role in the receiving game. He's got him in the red zone. 1st down and 10. Nunez, the handoff. That's David Williams, who's going to maybe get 1. This crowd here at Williams-Brice Stadium feeling a little better about things now.
They're not as queasy as they were in the first half, but you know what? They're waiting for another touchdown. They're waiting for this offense to finish. given the opportunity, given the field position where they were teed up around the 4-yard line.
Spurrier would love to see his true freshman throw one for 6. Second down and 9. Nunez, the keeper. That zone read play. Jeremy Boykins makes the tackle, but it's a gain of about 3 or 4. Earl Clark also in on the hit. So another third down here for South Carolina. Man down on the field. That is Tony Garrod, sophomore defensive tackle. 3rd and 6 for the game box. Well, we have moment. Let's check in studio with Brendan Fitzgerald.
Hey, Nick Chubb has tied the school record of Herschel Walker. 12 straight games of 100 rushing yards or more, and he does it in style with this touchdown down the left side. It's 41-6 Bulldogs. I imagine his day is done.
It's to do. The Georgia Bulldogs, 257 yards per game this season, 2nd in the conference. Nick Chubb, what a run. 12 straight 100-yard games.
Well, anytime you can be mentioned in the same sentence with Herschel Walker and you play run back at Georgia, you're doing pretty good.
Now, Tony Garrod made his way to the sideline. That's good to see. And the South Carolina offense, a big 3rd down and 6. They've got a terrific field goal kicker. And Elliott Fry, who's already hit from 52 and 27 today. But Steve Spurrier and this offense would love to get in the end zone one more time. And if Lorenzo Nunez can do something special in doing so, that's a big win for the Gamecocks.
We haven't heard from tight end Jarrell Adams lately.
Wanting to throw. Touchdown! Jacob August, the tight end.
That's exactly what this team needed. They needed finish. Terrific job, play action. You move the pocket, and you find a wide open tight end in Jake August to close the drive down.
First career touchdown pass for Nunez. Cap it a 4-play, 40-yard drive. And Fry on for the extra point. A couple of quick touchdown drives here in the second half. That one just 1 minute and 6 seconds. On 3rd down, Steve Spurrier drew it up this way.
You're going to get all kind of play action going to the short side. So everybody's eyes are to the short side, but they're going to lose track of the tight end that goes right across the formation into the middle of the field. Terrific play action. You move the pocket the way that your tight end's going, so it makes it easier for the quarterback to deliver a strike and a wide open Jacob August for 6 points. Good eyes down the field, moving the pocket, giving your freshman some room to operate, and a wide open tight end to convert.
Jacob August, walking tight end, who has worked his way into the rotation. He's from right here in Columbia, South Carolina. That's a big touchdown at this point in the season for a program that really needed some positive things to start happening.
These fans needed it. You know, they needed a reason to get excited, get behind some of these young players. They had a whole lot to cheer about through 3 weeks. And now you get some, you get individual plays by Farrell Cooper. Sensational touchdown run after he was going to throw the football. You get a break, an interception from the defense, teach you up on the 40. And the key is play that you convert. You get the young quarterback make some plays with his feet, and he ends the drive with his arm.
Landon Art's kick taken at the goal line by Payton. Tristan Payton gets the outside and across 30-yard line. There's a flag down on the field. TJ Glee ran him out. Flag at the 25.
During the return, holding number 81 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
That's going to bring it back a bit. Let's go to the studio for an update in Brendan.
Clay, LSU was in a close one with Syracuse. The Tigers trying to put some distance between themselves and the Orange on the road. This is Tre'Davious White, 69 yards on the punt return. It's 17-3 as they play in the 3rd quarter.
That's still a fairly close ball game, but LSU 15-3 in games played indoors since 2001. With the Carrier done today. So Knights go work at the 17-yard line. They're trailing once again. They go to the fullback, Cedric Thompson.
And it looked like Bo Schneider's not getting up after that hit. He took a pretty good shot in the backfield from Darius English, the defensive end. Found his way to his feet, but he took a vicious shot.
Now, there have been a couple of times he's had his bell rung today. And the true freshman Dallas has overall played pretty well here for UCF on the road. He's got C.J. Jones in the backfield to his right. The play action. Schneider rolling out, throws on the run, has a receiver in the pocket. Traquan Smith found a little gap in the defense and hauled it in.
And just as South Carolina moved the pocket for their young quarterback, UCF does the same. Get him on the outside, away from some of that pressure. Move that target instead of behind the line of scrimmage, outside by the hash marks to the wide side, and it's easier to find your tight end in space.
17-yard pickup for Smith. He's got 5 catches, 82 yards, and a touchdown today. On 1st and 10, Schneider again throws and again intercepted. T.J. Holloman does it to Schneider again. Second interception for Holloman on consecutive series.
Playmaker making plays. T.J. Holloman, as you said, if you can see the front of his numbers once he turned, I mean, he's definitely sprinting back. Just an underthrown pass. The intended receiver, Nick Patty, was 5 yards beyond T.J. Holloman. Just one of those that didn't come out the right way, and it's a turnover for George O'Leary. Another turnover on consecutive possessions.
Nunez kept it. Great deception, but he's cut. Down about a yard behind the line of scrimmage. Good tackle. Again in the open field by Kyle Gibson. He has had an exceptional day defensively for the Knights. You know, Steve Spurrier was a little displeased to hear that they were moving Sky Moore from the middle to the weak side and putting Holland in because Moore had been doing so well. I'm sure he's pretty pleased about that move by his co-defensive coordinators now.
Well, you know, Coach Hoke and Coach Ward figured out this guy needs to play. So let's move Sky Moore to a position where he can be even more productive and get Holland in the middle.
Nunez nearly threw an interception. Gerard Boydens. Thinking about that tonight. Now 3rd down and 10.
A discouraged and upset head coach on the sidelines, because those are the ones you're trying to draw up. The quick slants, the easy passes for your young quarterback to connect on, and they almost connect 60 yards going the other way.
After the interception on the last series, South Carolina took it in the end zone. Now they're facing a 3rd and 10 from their own 46. Nunez on the draw play, has room to run, has a 1st down and more. Great play by the true freshman quarterback, Lorenzo Nunez. Tackled at the 35 of UCF. It's a run of 19 yards.
And that's what he does best. He's had 2 plus 20-yard runs. Now you get another one for 19. And this is what he does. He's an athlete playing quarterback, the dual threat guy that's going to be better throwing the football. But you know that he can run it.
Yeah, until he does, that's a bad option.
No.
We get a timeout by the Knights with 1:56 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Nunez now over 100 yards rushing as well. 149 through the air, 107 on the ground. And at times has looked like a true freshman, John, but other times has been a spark for an offense that much needed one.
Really what we expect to see. We expected to see a little bit of good and maybe a little bit not so good. He opened up the game almost throwing an interception, but he found his tight end. He found Pharaoh Cooper on the outside, but an excellent job of really getting back makes him effective. That's running the football. And he's been good in the open field, making players miss. And when he's been in the pocket, he's done a nice job, for the most part, of finding his tight end, finding his wide receivers, buying himself some time, and getting back to using his legs.
And we saw Perry Orth on one series. He went 0 for 3. Have you seen enough from Nunez today that leads you to believe he's going to hold on to this job for a while?
It's his currently. Let's just put it that way. He needs to continue to play well, make good decisions.
I'm going to take a shot toward the end zone on 1st down, and he strikes with hitting Pharaoh Cooper in the end zone. Boy, Cooper make up for that first half. And Nunez with his second touchdown pass. That one from 35 yards out.
And he got enough air on the football to get it out there for Cooper to make a play on it. He had number 11 probably twice down the field if he could just get the ball down the field. That time Cooper makes a good play on the football for 6.
At snap, Fry into the end zone and throw it away. So the extra point fails. And it stays a 2-score game, 28-14 South Carolina.
Play action, good protection in the pocket. And this time the ball just floats in the air, but it's away from the coverage. Even though there are 2 defenders back there, the position of the football is away from the coverage and allows Cooper to make a play on the football. Watch where this ball is put on the inside of the hash away from the defense. That's double coverage there. But the ball's going to be thrown here, and it allows Cooper to go get it.
You can sense the confidence now that both Nunez and Cooper have.
Well, that happens, Clay. You can say all you want in practice, hey, he looks good. But until you do it in a game situation, until you feel like this is your team and you have the confidence to maybe do things you haven't done, and that means in the passing game, you know he's going to run it well. But when you make plays like that, it gives you confidence. It expands what you can do as a quarterback.
Williams-Brice Stadium has come alive here in the second half. Alongside Don Congemi, for quarterback at Pitt, I'm Clay Matvick. On a cool and damp late September day, South Carolina is upset alert there for a while. They've opened up a 2-touchdown push now on UCF late in the third quarter. And again, UCF will start at the 25. Celebrating its 11th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. To date, Allstate has contributed millions in scholarship money. South Carolina now 14 points on turnovers. Schneider is on the sideline right now. Nick Petty, their Wildcat or Wild Knight quarterback, if you will, is in. He had a touchdown run in first half. He'll hand off. And it's pickup of a couple.
This is the time for UCF. They need to put a drive together. Minute 33 counting before the fourth quarter starts. They need their offense to stay on the field and protect the football. That's paramount to the last 2 series.
Yeah, they've been making mistakes which have turned South Carolina points. George O'Leary looking on. Patty throws, and he's complete. Short of the first down, cut by Chris Johnson, and he's pushed out of bounds by McWilliams. You know, the last time that these two programs got together, 2013, and on the field that day, 14 future NFL players. Both of these programs have taken a step back the last couple of years. Not nearly as deep, not nearly as talented, but it's been a good game here again today in Columbia. South Carolina won at Orlando 2 years ago, and they're playing from in front now. UCF has converted just once today on third down, and they'll pick this one up as Petty takes it ahead, and they'll move the chains. Patty was the backup quarterback at Boise State 2 years ago. And he was UCF's backup last year before moving to wide receiver. And as you can see, he sometimes takes the direct snap.
And it's great that you can have a guy like that when you have a freshman quarterback. And he had 50 yards on the ground and a touchdown last week and loss against Furman, but now making way to Bo Schneider back in the lineup at quarterback.
It was the first rushing first down, just 31 yards on the ground for this team. That one's caught. Peyton with the catch, and he'll get 6, maybe 7 on that reception.
That's the end of the third quarter.
So a 2-touchdown game going to the fourth quarter. Farrell Cooper had a tough first half. It has been a very good third quarter. We'll see what happens in fourth. The Gamecocks leading at home.
ESPNU College Football All-State Saturday Kickoff. Brought to you by Allstate, proud supporters of college football. Are you in good hands?
Back here in Columbia, South Carolina, John Congemi, I'm Clay Matvick. After back-to-back losses to Kentucky and Georgia, South Carolina needing to take care of business here at home today. They've been playing from behind here at points this afternoon. They're leading as we start the fourth quarter. And Tirolosi, after the catch, gets close to the first down, but it's going to be 3rd and short for UCF.
I like what UCF's doing offensively right now. They're not trying to push the football down the field. They're taking what's there. And what South Carolina has been giving today and through 3 weeks is everything underneath on the outside. There's a lot of cushion on the outside. But now at 3rd and very short, you have to win at the line of scrimmage.
Nick Patty lines up in slot to the left of Bo Schneider. Jason Ray snaps it back, the handoff to Jones, and he got it. C.J. Jones with the first down for this.
This is going to be a grinded out type of series offensively for UCF. You've got Patty back in the football game at the Wild Knight position. They're going to try to grind it out and hopefully get a touchdown as a result.
Jones goes in motion. One of the many freshmen on this team. Pressure coming off the edge. Patty got rid of it on the screen. Payton. And he'll lunge ahead for 4 or 5. This is one of the youngest teams in the country. UCF, 10 freshmen used on offense last week. Based on our count up here, I think it's that many, if not more, today. And, you know, they got a couple of freshman quarterbacks, a couple of freshman running backs. And I've been impressed with the way they've hung the games here on the road today.
They've done a nice job. UCF's the only school, I think, in the country with a senior at the skill position.
Complete. And that first down to the 40 of South Carolina. Tristan Payton will pick up 8 more for the Knights, his 5th catch of the day. UCF, one of the teams with the fewest number of seniors in the nation. They only have 9 total.
Yeah, you look around, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. There's not a senior on their roster. Last year they had 5, and that's not a lot.
9th play of this series. Schneider will go under center. Play action. More pressure off the edge. Getting away. Schneider throws it away. Coming in hot, Lorenz Bryant, number 23, the junior from Charlotte, North Carolina.
And sometimes you have to anticipate. You just have that sense somebody's coming from behind. And in a good play, just to not take a negative play there on first down.
Patty's going to come back in. He's got a touchdown run today.
But that play there, Clay, for South Carolina got UCF off track on first down.
Now 2nd and 10. Nice snap. Patty gets rid of it quickly. He's done a pretty good job when he's asked to throw. He's 4 for 4 throwing the football. They've all been short passes. Picks up a chunk, so 3rd down and a long 5.
And we'll probably see Bo Schneider, the freshman quarterback, come in for this attempt.
For Joe Leary in his 12th year as head coach of UCF. He's built a very good program. They've fallen on hard times here, though, 2015.
Last couple times on 3rd down, they've tried to attack the middle of the field, and that's where T.A. Holloman came up with some big plays.
Big play for this offense. Pressured again. Schneider incomplete. Tirolosi came back, but Holloman was all over Bo Schneider. What a day for him in the middle.
He's done a great job in coverage. This time he's going to line up right at the line of scrimmage and come right down the middle. Just a delayed blitz. He gets the running back to look outside with that delayed blitz and puts pressure in the pocket on 3rd down. It's a savvy play. Good timing on the blitz by Holloman.
Frank Key, the offensive coordinator, had the offensive unit still out there. Now they call a timeout.
It's the first time out of the half.
The Knights burning a timeout. 11:37 to go here in Columbia.
Correction, their 2nd time out of the half.
own Darius Rucker bringing us back from break. And a big play coming up here. Brent Key, the offensive coordinator for the Knights, going for it on 4th down and 6 from the 36-yard line of South Carolina. 11:37 to play. The Knights down a couple of touchdowns. Bo Schneider has time to throw. Dumps it off short to Thompson, and he's offended. Good defensive play that time by that secondary. DJ Smith leading the way for the Gamecocks.
Good coverage on the perimeter. Makes freshman quarterback check the football down, and then an open field tackle by DJ Smith. You called it, partner. A good job of closing on the receiver at that time behind the backfield. Just great anticipation, good close, good tackle. Ball gets turned over on downs.
And now South Carolina takes over. Might have been the last best chance for UCF here in Columbia today. We'll see. David Williams on this run. Gain of 9. Let's go to studio and Brendan.
Play back up to Syracuse, where Leonard Fournette continues to impress. This time, he's going right up the middle. 62 yards and a touchdown. He's got more than 202 touchdowns on the day. It's 24-10.
Leonard Fournette, first player in LSU history with 5 straight 200-yard rushing games. And they've had some good backs there.
It's like a tennis match between Chubb and Fournette.
Yeah. 2nd down and 1 for the Gamecocks. Want to take as much time as they can before they snap it. Clock is their friend now. Nunez will give it to Williams. There's the big run they've been looking for from him. The sophomore from Philadelphia. He has been a guy that has always had the potential label around his neck.
He has, and there hasn't been a whole lot of running room in between the tackles for Carson or Williams, but Williams rips off a nice run there of 15 yards.
And Gerard Boykins is down for the 2nd time today for UCF. It's been a trying season for the 70-year-old Steve Spurrier. And there's been some speculation this year that he may retire at season's end. But he said Thursday night on his coach's show, he's got 3 years left on his contract. The money's pretty good. So he's not ready to find the rocking chair just yet.
It was fun chatting with him yesterday. You know, he was upbeat. He was encouraged by, you know, the potential of today and his freshman quarterback, and see where they're going to be at, who would be able to give him a spark offensively. Looks like he's got a little spunk on the sidelines too.
Got an issue with good clock management right now amongst the officials. Clock moving here in Columbia. Just over 10 minutes to go. Gamecocks have it, leading by 2 touchdowns. The true freshman quarterback Lorenzo Nunez on that zone read keeps it, and he'll pick up 5 yards on the run. Jeremy Boykins makes the tackle. Gerard Boykins, his brother, was able to make it off the field after being injured earlier.
Yards already going to come in chunks now for South Carolina. It looks like they're starting to wear down the best part of the UCF defense, and that was their front 7.
Going deep into the play clock now. Williams in the backfield. He'll get it. Maybe a yard. Dominic Spencer, first-year starter and middle linebacker, brings him down. 3rd down here for Gamecocks. And about 3. Parents' weekend for the Gamecocks. And even though it has been a tough start to the year, the crowds here are always good, always energetic, even if the weather bad today. It's raining just about until game time. Still great tailgating scene. Good crowd in the building, too.
I would think this would be quarterback run.
It's a run, and it's Williams inside the 30 to 29. 1st down, South Carolina. You know, I had a laugh. Jerry Spurrier, Steve's wife, came up, gave you a great big hug before the game. It's great to see it. She's your unofficial golf coach.
That's right. She coached me well out in San Diego here, that's for sure.
Knocked in a hole-in-one right in front of her. She's never forgotten it.
She was my good luck charm.
Tell you what, though, I think she's more nervous than Steve with the way things have gone here in 2015.
Well, I think that, you know, they're on their way to turning this around. It's so early in the season, and with the youth on their side of the football, especially at quarterback, and the injuries at center, you know, the defense not playing well. This is a team that needs to feel a little bit more confident about who they are and what they can do. And once they do that, I think they'll be, you know, competitive in the SEC.
After that run by Carson, 2nd down and 4. The good thing for Steve Spurrier's offense is they still have Connor Mitch, who's coming back in about 3, maybe 4 weeks. Brandon Wilds, once those ribs heal up, starting running back, he'll be back in the mix. So they've got talent that will come back and give this team a lift.
They have to find a way, you're right, but they have to find a way to bridge that gap until he's able to come back. Even when he is, the freshman quarterback can't make mistakes when you're trying to drain the clock here.
Before the snap, South Carolina calls its first time out of the half. It's 30-second timeout.
Boy, that chapped Steve Spurrier almost as much as anything. We saw it happen at Georgia last week. It's happened a couple of times here today. Timeout, South Carolina with 7:10 to go. Claymatic, John Congemi back here at Williams-Brice Stadium. Here's our Taco Bell game track. Midway through the 4th quarter. True freshman quarterback Schneider for UCF. Picked off twice, and South Carolina made a pay. And Nunez, the true freshman quarterback, has done, in your estimation, what great today at quarterback?
Well, I think it's a passing mark because, you know, now it's 28-14, and he seems to, as the game went on, he got more confidence. And it didn't look good at halftime. And that's the time where you grow up as a young quarterback. You come out, you make some plays, you hit your playmaker, Farrell Cooper, on a deep curl out to start the 2nd half. And then it kind of went good direction from there. So I think it's definitely a passing grade. A lot of things, a lot of coachable points from this week to next week, but I like the track he's on.
The 2nd half for both Nunez and Cooper. Much better in the first. Big storyline in this game as Williams takes it ahead. It'll be very close to the 1st down. Let's see if they get a favorable spot. It's likely they'll go for it anyway on 4th down. Clock continues to run. Coming up on 6 minutes to play here. So 4th down and inches for the Gamecocks. Steve Spurrier letting that play clock roll down again.
He may be calling a timeout. Going to let it go down 2 or 1 and then talk about it.
Gamecocks with 2 timeouts remaining. And now 1.
South Carolina takes its 2nd time out of the half.
5:36 to go. Back in a moment. Good one in the Pac-12 tonight, John. Bruins, Wildcats. That's tonight at 8 on ABC. UCLA, they've been beat up on defense. They lost another starter, Miles Jack. Injured knee.
Yeah, that hurts. And you know what? Freshman quarterback Josh Rosen, 3 interceptions in the 1st half last week against BYU, so he's looking to bounce back.
Well, South Carolina has decided to go for it. They've already killed nearly 6 minutes of the clock on this drive. They pick it up and keep the clock on their side. Lead by a couple of touchdowns. Nunez out of gun. They give it to Williams, and he's got an easy 1st down for the Gamecocks out of that timeout.
Good surge by the offensive line, and you have that power back in David Williams getting those shoulders square and lunging ahead for the 1st down.
South Carolina at Missouri next week, the first of 6 straight games against the SEC. And even though at times this one was very ticklish, they did some things well enough that at least this is going to be an easier week around Columbia amongst the fans, amongst the media. Some of these players that certainly needed to get some confidence when Williams smacked hard by Dominique Spencer. And defensively, really impressed with the linebacking core today, especially their middle linebacker, T.J. Holland.
Well, that was the big change. You know, we talked about a spark the entire Friday and Saturday leading up to this game about on offense, but the spark was really on defense. I think the adjustment of bringing Holloman inside and moving Sky Moore to the outside, you get a couple of turnovers, you get multiple tackles out of both players. They have found something on the defensive side.
Nunez fakes the handoff. He'll keep it himself. And gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Today's good hands plays brought to us by Allstate. The aforementioned T.J. Holloman, a couple of interceptions. That was very athletic play, which was one of the turning points in this contest.
Yeah, getting him into the middle of the defense. He's the quarterback now. He's the guy that verbalizes all the calls and moving Sky Moore to a position outside where he can make more plays. That's a good combination moving forward, as you said, heading into the schedule that lies ahead.
Steve Spurrier first heard that, scratching his head a bit. He didn't know if John Hoke and Lorenzo Ward had made the right decision. I'm sure he's thinking differently now. Now penalty marker. And full start.
False start for 33 the offense. It's 5-yard penalty, third down.
David Williams. Yeah, but Steve Spurrier has always been in charge of the offense. He's put good people in charge of the defense. They made the call this week during practice. Thought that was the right move, and it paid dividends today.
It really did. Really made them more athletic at the linebacker spot, and it allowed it freed them up a little bit more. I think, especially in coverage and rush a quarterback, we saw Holloman do both exceptionally well.
Nunez keeps again. It's out of a tackle in the backfield, turns it upfield, gets to the 15-yard line where he goes out hard and runs into some spectators there on that sideline. Drico Johnson took him out. And the clock stops with 3:23 to go, fourth down for South Carolina.
And at the end of that play, that's where a freshman quarterback just needs to slide in bounds with that clock moving. You know, those are just coachable points, maybe not for this game, but for future games. When he's in this situation and it's a closer ball game, not a touchdown game, you keep that clock moving.
Now they will bring on Elliott Fry to make this a 3-score game. He has hit from 52-27 and missed from 39, from 33. Bingo. 31-14. South Carolina fans feeling very at ease now as we check in the studio with Brendan.
Thanks, Clay. Coming up next, Andrew McNulty, an Iowa City native, makes a homecoming as his Mean Green take on the Hawkeyes of Iowa. That's coming up in less than 30 minutes. Back to you guys.
All right, Brendan, thank you very much. More Texas and Iowa coming up. Under 3 minutes to go here in Columbia. The schedule for the Gamecocks gets really tough going forward. At Missouri, and they host LSU, host Vanderbilt, go to Texas A&M, go to Tennessee. They've got Florida here in town. Then the Citadel out of conference, and of course always wrapping up with Clemson. It's a meat grinder down the stretch.
It's never easy in the SEC. You say at Missouri, at Texas A&M, at Tennessee. Those are going to be difficult ball games, and this team has the potential to go and win anyway, but one, they need to get healthy. They're going to get their center back, Allen Ott. That'll help them on the offensive line. You're hoping to get Connor Mitch back in a couple of weeks. That'll help them provide depth at the quarterback position, but defensively is where they need to continue to improve.
They will be their second win. Looking at that schedule, John, do you see them making a bowl again this year?
Well, you never know what's going to happen, but you can. Any game on this schedule is winnable if this team can keep improving the way they did from last week to this week. Now, the level of competition definitely is going to go, but yes, you would say, yeah, they have that ability.
Now, the college football season continues. Got a critical doubleheader today. That's going to be good. Texas A&M, Arkansas, even though the Razorbacks have struggled when they're at home, they're tough. And USC, Arizona State at 10:30 tonight on ESPN, also streaming live on Watch ESPN. You know, you and I did Arkansas week 1, and they were the trendy pick to win the SEC West back at the beginning of the year, and not so much anymore.
No, they have to create that balance again with Allen at quarterback and Collins at running back.
Bo Schneider to throw on first down, crossing route. Jordan Franks makes the catch, and then a hit in the secondary. And TJ Gurley, the Spur linebacker, who was a safety last year, still comfortable at that position. Clock rolling here. South Carolina on its way to its second win of the season. Beat North Carolina in the opener in a tough battle. They're going to end a 2-game losing streak. There's another completion and a first down. That's Nick Patty. The little bit that Nick Patty has been involved in the offense, it has been productive. I think that this offensive unit needs to find more ways to keep him involved.
He's a good athlete. He can throw it and run it from the quarterback spot, and he can catch it outside.
Schneider dancing, throwing, and another catch. And another hard hit by TJ Gurley. This time C.J. Jones, who took one half step upfield, and then he was planted.
He was. And this is a team in UCF that's going to be competitive in the AAC. They need just to get healthy, and that's their goal. They still have, even though they haven't won this year, they can get healthy enough to make a run in that conference.
Patty makes the catch. Third down and short. They start conference play at Tulane next week, and maybe they'll have Justin Holman back at quarter. He's out with a broken index finger on his throwing hand. Schneider out of the pocket. Instead of running for it, throws it downfield, and it's incomplete. Fourth down. UCF was picked second in the American Conference East, and it's going to be really hard for them to live up to those expectations. The team in that league that everybody's talking about right now is Temple. In the East, they've established themselves as a power. They got wins over Penn State,
UCF
Cincinnati.
calls its final timeout, 30-second timeout.
As George O'Leary calls the night's last timeout. And the American Conference is down a little bit this year, Jen, no doubt about it. But the UCF Knights, with high expectations when the season started, they too are going to have a hard time finding wins the next 2 months.
Well, you got UConn, who took Missouri down to the wire. You've got Temple, as you said, in that schedule away. You've got Cincinnati at Cincinnati. That's going to be a difficult schedule for them to try to rebound and get their first win. And once they get a win and get healthy, maybe they can take it to a different level.
7 bowl games in 11 years for George O'Leary, who added interim AD to his title this year. And we talked about Steve Spurrier. Some people think that O'Leary may retire at the end of the season. Wait and see. Schneider plunges ahead, and he picks the first down. A lot of similarities between O'Leary and Steve Spurrier right now in where their career is at.
Well, where their career is at and where their teams are at. They're trying to find an identity for both of these teams. And coaches that have been at it for as long as they have, they've seen just about everything. So they're trying to piece together how they can be successful from this week to next week with all the injuries and all the problems that a head coach has to deal with.
He tried to put to rest in our conversation with him this week about if he's being stretched too thin by being the AD as well. He says not at all. And another sack as Schneider goes down. Dante Sawyer comes in, second sack today for South Carolina.
Well, this defense has made more plays from the start of this game to the end, and they've been able to pressure the pocket today much more than they have over the past 3 weeks.
Final half minute. Schneider throws. Tirolosi bobbles and is hit by Sky Moore. And he is fun to watch. He is fun to watch. Leads the team tackles for loss. Tied for the national lead coming into the weekend with interceptions.
It's a pretty good tandem at will linebacker and middle linebacker for Steve Spurrier. Holloman and Moore. They're going to make a lot of plays for the Gamecocks.
We can call it a step forward, I think, for South Carolina this week, albeit not the best day all around, but certainly it's a step in the right direction at a lot of positions today. Schneider deep downfield, and that's nearly intercepted in double coverage. Schneider threw it downfield. Al Harris, Isaiah Johnson combined to knock that one down.
Well, for a team that's been averaging 18 points on offense through 3 games, you put 31 up, and Steve Spurrier has to be happy with the way his freshman quarterback grew today, not only as a general, but as a leader of the offense, and he's going to have to continue to grow over the next couple of weeks.
Nunez, 12 of 22, 184. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, passing the football, 18 carries for 123, rushing the football. And he'll take a knee. Final play of the ball game. South Carolina the win, 31-14 over UCF. Needed a second half comeback, get it done. They get a 2-2 overall. And UCF falls to 0-4.
UCF trying to get back on track with George O'Leary, and I know that Steve Spurrier happy to come away at home with a victory. Hopefully this propels them in the SEC.
31-14 the final here in Columbia. Coming up next, North Texas and Iowa. I'll get you back to the studio. Brendan Fitzgerald and Kevin Carr.
Well, thank you very much. So South Carolina on Parents Weekend at Williams.